Hello to everybody. My name is Giuseppe Innamorato. I'm one of the founders and CTO at Xenialab. And I'm going to provide you some general information about our company. First, I will speak about our company. Then I will talk about the main functionalities of our product, xCALLY. And finally, I will hand over to my colleague, Diego Gosmar, who will provide you more in-depth information about the products. So let's start with the company. Xenialab was founded in 2007 after a winning business plan presented to the Turin Polytechnic campus. In 2008, Diego and myself published the first Asterisk Italian book, and we was working since 2009 to develop our enterprise social voice communication platform that was first classified in European port projects. After a couple of years of pure research and development inside the Polytechnic campus, we start to sell products and services in Italy. And in 2010, we were appointed as a Startup of the Year from the Polytechnic campus. In 2012, last year, we worked with the UCLA University of Los Angeles in order to define the international go-to-market strategy. Today, we are still working in the international markets, and we have got new resellers from Asia and Europe. This is our team. Other than developing xCALLY, we like to play soccer, to sail in the Mediterranean Sea, and to organize sommelier wine classes. So if you have the opportunity to come in Turin in Italy, please give us a call. We will be happy to share a good bottle of Barolo with you. Well, now let's move on the product. But before showing the product to you, I would like to point out which market xCALLY is addressing to. xCALLY Suite is built around the Asterisk ecosystem. And we are addressing the call center, the customer care market. I mean, not only the traditional customer care market, but especially the new one, the new customer care, which are based most on the internet technologies. This modern customer care uses the voice as only one of the possible channels to communicate. But more and more other channels like web chat, SMS, WhatsApp, CRM, social network are balancing the voice in this industry. For these reasons, Xenialab developed the xCALLY solution, the xCALLY Suite, which are completely based on the Asterisk environment and the new emerging technologies like WebRTC and WebSockets. With xCALLY, we think that it's very useful for an agency to work with a call center environment. The product is already ready for the multi-channels like chat, voice, etc. We have a seamless integration with script engine, with IVR, and CRM, different CRM products. With xCALLY, you can easily develop complex routing system, use the skill-based routing, and our powerful outbound dialer. And you can save a lot of money because you don't need so much things to run xCALLY. You just need a virtual machine. And compared with the traditional systems like Avaya, Cisco, Genesis, you can save a lot of money. Finally, it's very simple and easy to set up, both in-house or in a hosted environment. Let's focus now on my final point. It's called from the agent perspective. This is what an agent can have on his desktop. Well, this is the worst case, when everything is open. You can see on the screen our Windows phone bar. That is the only thing that should be open usually. The phone bar has a lot of functionalities. We are going to explain some of them. For example, you can open the presence and chat panel. From there, an agent can see the status of the other agents, can place a call, can forward a call, and can initiate a chat session. It can receive a chat session from another agent, and in this case, is an internal chat, or can receive a chat from an external agent, for example, from a website, and it is a web chat. We support the so-called proactive engagement from external website, and it's up to the supervisor to define the agent expertise. I mean, it can be configured only for a chat or a voice or both. And whenever he will receive a chat, he will have a pop-up like this, and he can accept or refuse the chat. Another interesting thing is the real-time monitor, agent real-time monitor. From there, an agent can see the status of all the queues he belongs to, and can see how many agents are logged in the queue, how many calls are waiting in the queue, and for how long this customer is waiting for an answer. This phone bar supports the application integration, something that was called CTI in the traditional system. That means when a call is passed to the agent, it is possible to display the customer data. And you can configure if you want to see the customer data during the ringing phase, at the ringing time, or after the agent answered the call. Finally, this Windows phone bar supports the auto-provisioning. That means that whenever it will be a new version, a new release, it will be automatically downloaded on the customer care computer. Beside the Windows phone bar, Xenialab is developing this new phone bar completely web-based. This phone bar has most of the functionality we had before with a couple of pluses. You don't need to install any client software on the agent computer, and you can use it from any browser that fully supports HTML5 specification. And you can use it from Linux box, from Macintosh computer, from Windows environment, and why not also from Android device. In this case, for the application integration for the CTI, we are using Frame in the browser. Well, it's time now to see a quick demo, and then it's my pleasure to hand over to my colleague, Diego Gosmar. Thank you.
Thank you, Giuseppe, very much. Hi, everybody. Let's now move quickly to a simple demo about the new WebRTC telephone bar Giuseppe just mentioned about. It's totally WebRTC WebSocket based, so it uses HTML5, no clients, no specific application must run on your computer, just a browser compatible with WebRTC. So first of all, for sure, Google Chrome, Firefox, and coming next, other browser. Here I'm using Chrome, and just to have a look at the telephone bar, this is what the agent will see. So it can easily move on to different status moving on to pause mode, managing the phone calls for sure. So let's now see. This is an example of simple incoming phone calls coming into the telephone bar. Of course, you can manage the phone call. You can see the caller ID and the queue, so we call it campaign, the service. So the agent will be aware when he answers the call now which kind of services is managing on. And furthermore, as Giuseppe mentioned, we perform also several CRM or external application integration. This is an example. You see that we automatically, in this case, as soon as the agent receives the call, we automatically, let's answer the call, and let's hang up. We automatically pop up a new CRM. We recognize the caller ID number. So in this case, we recognize if the customer is already in the contact CRM. We recognize the customer, and we link the customer to the CRM module. In this case, we just opened a new ticket, and the agent will be able to fill in the ticket with all the customer information. So at the end of the day, the agent will have a full web experience integrated with external application. So in the second part of our presentation, I will focus on three main points. First, I will give you a snapshot about the supervisor, or what you say, call manager, call center manager experience. Second, I will focus on the roadmap, so give you some snapshot about what we are doing next. And finally, the most interesting thing I think we can show today, how we perform the integration between xCALLY and the Digium powerful API to perform the integration between xCALLY and the Digium Media Gateways. So looking at the supervisor experience, we provide basically three web interfaces to the supervisor. The first is called xCALLY Manager. And it is just a quick overview. Using the xCALLY Manager, the supervisor will be able to easily set up new agent, set up new queue, if we are talking about inbound or also predictive outbound module. And of course, looking at the queue, if you are familiar with Asterisk, you will be able easily to set up the queue, the strategy of the queue, and all the queue parameters. And then the cool thing, pretty useful in the call center market, you can pick up an agent like this one, and you can easily link each agent to different queues or different channels, so voice and chat. So we will have agents multi-channels, able to manage voice and chat, and agents multi-skills, so able to manage calls belonging to different queues. Then, of course, we have all the other stuff like basic routing, basic asterisk routing, shared address book, audio recording, and in the process section, you will be able to manage and to create specific predictive process or automatic outbound progressive, power progressive algorithm. The second interface, pretty useful for the supervisor, is a specific web interface for the analytics. We provide offline reporting tool where the supervisor can easily monitor the service level agreement, call distribution, answered and unanswered calls, and finally also a real-time dashboard. In the real-time dashboard, you will be able to monitor what is happening now for each queue, for each agent, and having a control room to monitor the call center performance. Finally, another module our call center manager uses is the drag and drop IVR we developed on top of Asterisk. It's a totally drag and drop module. Just to give you an overview, this is an example, simple auto-attendant IVR, but you can do more complex stuff. Everything is drag and drop and Asterisk integrated. You can easily manage the Asterisk application, so add new nodes in the IVR and manage your drag-and-drop IVR module. So we just seen what the supervisor can do. What's next? Here is an overview about our roadmap. First of all, the most important thing we would like to do is to concentrate all the web interfaces you've seen in a seamless, unified web interface, a unique web interface, easy to be managed by the call center manager. And we call this interface xCALLY Shuttle. Then we're working on the proactive xCALLY chat channels. Of course, the WebRTC telephone bar, providing new channels, so not just voice, but also the messaging and new features coming up. And we are improving our web service API, so to be able to manage several kinds of integration between xCALLY and different CRM or third-party applications. Finally, we are working also to provide for specific teleworkers, for example, or mobile agents, a mobile version of our telephone bar, starting from Android, of course, but generally available also on other platforms. Finally, let me know the most important thing, of course, is to improve our software performance when testing and so on and so forth about what we do in Xenialab. Well, finally, the last point of the presentation, the xCALLY and Digium integration. As far as the call center managers are concerning, they look to something very simple. They don't want to get in deep inside some technical issues about, SIP trunking, PSTN lines, E1, T1, signaling protocol, but they want something very simple to be set up, and furthermore, something unified. So our main target is to provide them a unified interface, simple to use, simple to set up, not just for the basic call center routing, but also for the PSTN lines. This is an example of simple architecture. So we have xCALLY on virtual machine. We typically provide virtual machine with Asterisk 11 release xCALLY server, and on the left side, the telephone bar you saw before. On the right side, you see how we connect with the PSTN lines. Of course, we can perform connection with SIP trunking, but looking at the PSTN lines, we performed last year some research. We were used to manage different media gateways from a lot of brands. And finally, we come up to the Digium Gateways. And it was pretty cool because we benefit from the Digium Gateway API to make the integration. I will show you in a few seconds. Here are a couple of case histories, successful case history. Zalora is one of the biggest fashion group based in several countries in Asia. And Olivetti International is the international customer care for the Olivetti computer companies. Another customer has just been deployed in Rome using the xCALLY and Digium Gateway integration. All of these customers have been moved from legacy technologies, you see an example there, to the xCALLY and Digium Gateway new technologies. So let's now focus just few minutes on the technical aspect, some overview about how we perform the integration. Basically, the Digium Gateway provides a useful API where we can send HTTPS requests to the Digium Gateways and get back with answers, with response, standard JSON-based response. For example, starting from the login. So first operation we are doing is we log in to the Digium Media Gateway using the login API. So we send the HTTP login request and we get back with a JSON authentication cookie we will use in all other API requests. Second operation we are doing is we set up the Digium Media Gateway, so the Digium Gateway will register on the xCALLY machine. And this is performed with a simple Digium API SIP endpoint save. In this case, we are able to set up the trunking, SIP trunking between the Digium Gateway and xCALLY. Then, what we do is we set up a couple of rules, simple rules, to manage all the incoming traffic from the PSTN lines to the xCALLY server, and from the xCALLY server to the PSTN lines with the Digium gateways. So 2 rules. Finally, we have been able also to use the Digium API to monitor the status of the PSTN lines on one hand, and on the other hand, the SIP trunking between xCALLY and Digium Gateway. So at the end of the day, what we can provide to the call center supervisor is a powerful, seamless web interface. I will give you an overview. The new xCALLY shuttle, where it can, of course, set up the SIP trunking. So it is a basic asterisk SIP trunking. I think you are familiar with that. And here, the call center manager can easily set up, using the same interface, the Digium Gateway trunking for E1 or T1 lines. Let's make an example. I would like to set up a Digium Gateway. Here it is, a Digium Gateway located right now in Europe. As you can see, we have it configured like a localization in Japan, in this case. So let's say it's in Japan. And the port typology is T1. We have no special SIP endpoint, so nothing is set up right now on the Digium Gateway. No trunk, as you can see. And also about the rules, let me check, but it should be, okay, no rules is right now on the Digium Gateway. So what we are going to do is we create a new media gateway here on the xCALLY machine, just providing the IP address of the gateway, the username, the password of the Digium Gateway. Let's, for example, select France as localization, E1, the typology of the PSTN lines, and the trunk. And then we can save. And what's happening now is that xCALLY machine will use the API you just saw before. First of all, what we are doing is we set up the E1 interfaces on the Digium Gateway with the typology, so the localization. Second, we are setting up the trunk 2, in this case, as a SIP trunking between the Digium Gateway and the xCALLY machine. And finally, what we do is we set up the 2 rules to get all the traffic, the voice traffic, managed between the PSTN lines and the call center. So it takes just a few moments at the beginning. Also here, it is my xCALLY machine is now on a virtual machine inside my Macintosh, and the Digium Gateway is in Europe. And finally, we get the setup done. So at the end of the day, what we have here is, let's have a look, for example, at the T1 E1. It was on Japan localization, as you can remember. Okay, now it's in France. So it's a miracle, the demo worked. And the port 1 is a setup for Europe, so E1. We get also the SIP trunking in the SIP. So here it is, the SIP trunking. Let's have a look at it. As you can see, there are some specific technical parameters, and our call center managers don't want to waste time about it. And some call routing rules, as I explained before. So I would expect, as you can see, 2 simple rules. All the traffic coming for the xCALLY is routed to the port 1 of the Digium E1 gateway, and vice versa. Finally, If you look at the xCALLY machine, you can just click on the gateway here, on the gateway record, and you will get a snapshot about the status of the connection. Right now, the E1 connection is up and running, so it's green. The SIP trunking is not working because my xCALLY machine is here now, so it's not reachable from the Digium Gateway in Europe. But normally, it will be green as well. And here are also some cool stuff about the Digium parameters and everything about the monitor interface. OK, I think it brings me to the end of our presentation. I thank you very much for being here today. We will be here for the next 2 days, so we would be glad to share with you experiences, questions, everything about the Asterisk world, and the integration with specific focus for the customer care market. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much indeed.
We actually have a couple minutes. Does anybody have any questions for them today? Yeah, go ahead.
Are you considering just PRI right now? Do you have plans for R2?
You mean about, on the Digium Gateway?
Whenever will be...
Wait,
Well,
go ahead and
wait,
repeat
wait.
his question, please. Repeat his question.
The question is if on the Digium Gateway, if I understood correctly, on the Digium Gateway we are considering just PRI, E1 or T1, or also ISDN, BRI, or analog?
Yes, either or outside of Europe.
Yeah, that's a question I think for Digium. I know that there is some plan, but I think that Digium can answer to you.
You're talking about which signaling for the gateway? Not, as of now, there is no connectivity for R2. I think they're working on that, but as of today, there's nothing.
Well, as a matter of fact, looking at the call center market, we usually manage E1 or T1, but it would be interesting also to have maybe BRI and analog in some cases.
Yeah, maybe for the very little one.
Any other questions? Yeah. Would you like to give him the microphone?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, first of all, impressive stuff. Very good. Just a question in regards to my own experience in Asterisk with the call centers. What sort of scalabilities you guys are getting with this? How many agents, how many concurrent calls can you do?
Well, so far we are working with customer until 150 agents, more or less, 200 agents. We are analyzing also some projects larger. We are talking about more than 500 agents. And well, the scalability is pretty much higher. We have no experience above 1,000 agents for sure, but it's a matter of it's more a matter of powerful of the server, of redundancy of the server, and we tested with Asterisk a lot of concurrent call, more than 500 concurrent calls as well. Thank you for your question.
Great. Any last questions? Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate. Oh wait. Whoop. Applause. One second.
Thank you. Just addition to the scalability. I didn't see any information about the scalability of xCALLY service, about failover and distribution of the xCALLY itself. Yeah. I understand that in gateway perspective, it is scalable. You can connect different gateways, but what about xCALLY itself?
Yeah, we don't modify anything about Asterisk. Then we are just using all the Asterisk functionalities on top of him. Then if you want to build a redundant Asterisk system with failover, for example, in the Proxmox environment I did, and what xCALLY will see is just an IP, the virtual IP. Then for us it's transparent, the scalability on behind, because on the customer care agents we have just a phone bar, and we speak directly with then the reliability we use it is the Asterisk one. Did I answer the question? Yeah.
Okay, great. If you guys have any other questions, I'm sure they'll be around during the breaks if you have anything. But thank you guys very much.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.